Hello, gentle viewers. This is Avindian, welcoming you to a new series based on the classic 1998 real-time strategy game StarCraft and its expansion Brood War. Now, as I just stated, this is one of the older games we've played on the channel, but I think you'll enjoy it as much as I did. I played this game a lot in high school, including doing a little bit of multiplayer, which is really strange for me, because I don't play a lot of multiplayer. It's got a really good story, and I really enjoy it. I'm not starting you at the very beginning screen because of the way my OBS works. I have it set to record on a certain hotkey, which brings up the credit screen in StarCraft. So that's why we're starting directly here with me at the registry. So, we will be playing all the missions, at least for the original campaign, in order, or until I get tired of it. And each episode will consist of one mission. So there's 30 missions in the base game, an additional 28, I want to say, in Brood War. Some of those missions are only about 15-20 minutes long, especially the earlier ones. Some of those are going to be more than an hour long, especially like Terran 10, Zerg 10, Protoss 10, Protest 10 in particular. It's going to take a really long time. So with those disclaimers out of the way, I say we go ahead and hit OK. Now, you can start whenever you want. You can actually play the Protest campaign first if you want, but it makes the most sense to start as the Terran campaign. In the decades since the end of the Guild Wars, the oppressive Terran Confederacy stood unchallenged in its supremacy over colonized space. And you can read the rest of it, because I don't think I can finish reading it in enough time to start the... Oh no, it might be waiting for me to click, so I'll just continue to read then. All of that changed 4 days ago when a large alien fleet emerged from warp space and laid waste to the unsuspecting Confederate colony of Chao Sara. The Confederacy, fearing that the alien fleet's next target will be the colony of Mars Sara, has sent you, meaning me, to intervene. And it didn't let me finish. So, I'll try to finish those where I can. So this is the basic tutorial mission.
Welcome to Mars Sara, Magistrate. The equipment demonstration you requested is prepared and may be initiated at your convenience. Simply select Start to begin the demonstration. You may skip the demonstration by selecting Skip Tutorial.
Okay, we could skip the tutorial if we wanted to.
Whenever you feel you are ready, you may select Start.
I'm talking, shut up. And you know what? I think we will. Let's skip the tutorial. I can talk about what was in it in the beginning here.
Adjutant online. Good evening, Magistrate. I'll fill you in on what's been happening. Confederate traffic has increased substantially within the system due to the recent Protoss destruction of the Chao Sara colony. The Confederates have tightened security on all outlying systems, and it's likely that this colony will be locked down as well. An encrypted Confederate transmission came for you while you were at dinner. Replaying transmission.
Greetings, Magistrate. I'm General Edmund Duke of the Confederate Security Forces Alpha Squadron. The Confederacy has quarantined this entire planet, and we'll proceed with a lockdown within 48 hours. You're to relocate your core colonists to the outlying wastelands. Now, I know there won't be any problems with these new arrangements.
Transmission ended. I have contacted the local marshal, James Rayner. Rayner has agreed to meet your personnel en route and escort them to the new wasteland site.
Okay. So we can see here in the bottom left, our objectives are to find Rayner, build a barracks, and train 10 Marines. Let's go. I don't need to see the tips at startup. And I know all of these things too.
Reporting for duty.
Alright, we're going to send the Marines out. Our basic...
We're being sent to the wasteland. These Confederates think they can push anybody around.
We're going to use attack moves and we're gonna make our way up to the base.
Let's move.
Because it wouldn't do to send our SCVs into danger right away.
Outstanding.
Hey, look, it's Jim Raynor.
Howdy, boys. I'm Jim Raynor, Marshal of these parts.
Raynor here.
Right on. This should be good.
And we just killed our first Zerglings, one of the other main races in the game.
Reporting for duty.
Now that we know the path is reasonably clear, we can get the SCVs, our space construction vehicles, on the way.
Raynor here.
Now, one of the things, and they fixed this in Brood War, the expansion, is that Terrans have no way to heal units. So this Marine, for example, is going to be in some trouble. Up.
Go ahead, Commander.
Go get him. You go kill that Zergling.
Reporting for duty.
Let's get everyone mining.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir. Reporting for duty. Roger
So
that.
there are only two real resources in StarCraft, minerals and Vespene gas. Up here is the population limit, however, and that can affect things. Let's pause for just a moment. Yeah, I'm going to turn off mouse sensitivity here. What is mouse scaling? No, I don't want to do that. Okay, that's much better. It's a little bit less jerky.
Order scout.
Now, here's the really cool news. If after watching a few episodes, you decide, hey, I'd really like to get me some of that, you can, because the original StarCraft is absolutely free. Because Blizzard's going to be releasing a remastered version that's got HD and all that lovely stuff. So that's pretty cool. We have 150 minerals. You'll remember one of our objectives. And you can check this here, was to build a barracks. So build a barracks we shall do.
Raynor here.
Let's give them a nice patrol order.
Sounds fun.
Just make sure that any Zerglings, like this guy, don't get too close.
This is Jimmy.
Go murder him, please. Lovely.
This should be
So a lot of the things that you'll probably see if you played any real-time strategy games actually started with StarCraft, or perhaps with Warcraft 2, which predates StarCraft by, I think, just 2 or 3 years. You have 3 different races, and the Terrans, who we play now, are the humans, and they're mostly well known for their flexibility. We can build anywhere we want to on the map, and as we'll see when we get to the Zerg and Protoss campaigns, that can be a pretty useful advantage. And most importantly, most of our important buildings can fly. If we clicked on this button here for lift off, the command center would take off, and then people would begin to fly.
Infantry units such as Marines can be trained at this facility.
Lovely. We're going to build a supply depot, because each Marine costs 1 supply, and we are using 10. We only have 8 left. An additional supply depot, I believe each one gives you 8 supply, but I don't remember. Should be more than enough to get the Marines we need. Actually, more than we need. That one's about dead, and I'd really rather not lose it. What else do we need to know to understand StarCraft at the moment? Oh, we can start making Marines. You can only build 5 units
Not
at a
enough
time.
minerals.
Job's finished.
Not enough
Nope.
minerals.
It's 8 supplies.
Yes,
There we
sir.
are. And then you can go back and resume.
This is
This,
Jimmy.
Raynor does get spider mines.
You want a piece of me, boy?
Now, I am very, very anti-Vulture. That's the name of this particular unit.
Sounds fun.
Vultures are really, really fast, but they don't hit very hard. A fragmentation grenade does 30 damage. In comparison,
Standing by.
Gauss Rebels only do 6, but these fire very, very slowly. And they're not very tough. 300 hit points. I'd rather have a whole bunch of Marines than even a few Vultures. But because Rainer's a hero, his stats are a lot better. When we see regular Vultures later on in the campaign, we'll notice they're not quite as friendly.
Sounds fun.
Let's send them off to do some scouting while we wait for the Marines. Oh god. It's a Zergling. So the Zerglings are the base units of the Zerg. They're very cheap.
You want a piece of me, boy?
And you can make them in huge numbers. And this can be quite a powerful tool. One of the memes that you may have heard of from StarCraft is, Kiki Zerg Rush, because it's so OP on certain maps in multiplayer.
You want a piece of me, boy?
Also, the point where the game's not fun if you play on certain maps. And I thought there was more to it than that, but there wasn't. So we just completed our very first mission of StarCraft. Again, as we play further on in the game, the missions will get longer and longer, and just for the sake of keeping things smooth, we're only ever going to play one mission in an episode. So some will be really short, but I'll more than make up for when we get to the longer missions. I can talk about things like strategy, tactics, why I'm building certain units and not others, and so forth. But, click on victory. We get a lovely little recap screen. APM. Oh, they added this to the new update. So APM actions per minute is something that competitive StarCraft players are really concerned about. There wasn't much new in this mission. I bet if we go into later missions, it'll go up there. A professional regularly beats 60 APM. I'm not nearly that good. Even when I was playing this game in high school, I wasn't that good. They made more units than we did, but we lost no units and we killed 3 of them. We made more structures, and we got some minerals. So all in all, a successful campaign. But that will do it for this particular episode. I hope you have enjoyed the episode. If you have, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. But until next time, this has been Avindian, and I bid you good day.